Shogun, no more. What the f? The Idatan deity's only piece is an absolute bait. It pulls you in like you're a horny little slut and sucks all of your horny juice. And when you're done with the anime, it leaves you feeling very philosophical. This anime doesn't shy away from very dark imagery. It also goes deep into exploring of what it takes to be a human. Is it the Idatan deities who have a duty to protect the humans from demons, but isn't obligated to meddle in human affairs like wars amongst each other, while also having the biological makings of a human, but are unkillable, don't need sleep, food, or oxygen to live, something that's not very human? Or is it the demons, who don't always look human and they hunt, kill to spread their kind, but requires food, air, and sleep, otherwise they will die, and also have moments where they show maternal instincts, something that is more akin to that of a human being, making you ask all these questions while having the absolute peak of animation every frame and a unique art style which makes the anime stand out compared to most animes. And tits. This anime's got a lot of tits. And child grooming. I swear this anime is actually good. Over 800 years ago, the demons ravaged the world, bringing humanity at the brink of extinction. And then the humans prayed. They prayed so hard that they manifested gods. Not this one, but these. They were battle gods known as Idatan deities. No diffed the demons and sealed the remaining in a random mountain. And our first main character, Rin, another Idatan deity, says her final heartbroken goodbyes to her grandfather, as he along with the other deities have to sacrifice their souls to ensure that the seal works. All while this goosebump-inducing song gets played in the scene, which to me makes it much more powerful than I thought it would, even though I barely know these old guys. Which is followed by the most hype opening song I ever heard, because damn, opening so good I started listening to it on repeat, in the shower, in the church, in the bedroom. And then we meet our main character of the show, Hayato, a new deity. I say new relative to her because she's 800 years old, while this 13-year-old looking ass is actually 80, who is seen training with Rin, having lived 800 years, has 800 years worth of training experience, so she's pretty much OP. For the new gens, she's a Gojo of this world. They train in preparation for when the seal breaks. But it's been 800 years since the last sighting of any demon. You could say that the Idatan deities know only peace. So with no real tangible reason to train, the other deities, Yisli, who loves learning about the world, and Miss Boo, Paula, who has the Disney powers to talk to birds, don't really train all that much, unlike Hayato. So they usher in their peace. Not for long though. So the three of them went to check out what was going on in the North Glacier, and there we get introduced to the Zobel Empire, an empire said to be at war with two different countries and is in the North Glacier by the orders of this very peculiar man, Dr. Obama, who seems to know about the demons and deities that existed 800 years ago, which is not something a normal human should have any knowledge of. The demon breaks out from the ice, and just before it goes berserk, it was actually pretty chill until it had its sight on Paula. Being that she's a deity, starts wreaking havoc. That is until Hayato comes in and... What the f***? He's bulletproof? When I say these deities are OP, I fully mean it. Because in this short first episode, we see how they're capable of running around the globe in 9 hours, can change their weight for stealth purposes, has insanely high durability, and can regenerate infinite times. It's why Rin doesn't really hold back in her training with Hayato. A training that feels like a fate worse than being the MC of Fire Punch. And can manifest OP items after a longer period of training. Then we see this guy getting absolutely decapitated, and Hayato and the other deities get their asses handed to them. But wait, Hayato is actually not that weak, because he already has relentlessly trained with Granny Rin, beats the demon and calls it a day. these deities can call it a day because demons no longer exist. But what about the wars that are inflicted by humans upon one another? Why do they stand around and do nothing while they clearly have the means to stop it? Is it not the responsibilities of the deities to protect humans from danger? Not necessarily. According to Yeasley's theory, a desire for salvation is what manifests these gods along with the collective thoughts of all the humans. But they don't help humans at all. But it's actually not so strange to not help them because it's humans who make humans suffer in war. What sense would it make to fight humans to save humans? He further explains just like how humans don't care about how the composition of a forest might change as long as there are plants, the deities too don't care which side of the human is the victor as long as there are still humans around. It is a very cold and logical approach to how they function, but it makes sense and really gets you thinking. And boom! It hits you with a 10 out of 10 budget with dope ass fight scenes to go along with this deep philosophical bullshit. And the very engaging and intriguing lore of this world can keep you hooked without much effort. The anime doesn't shy away from asking these kind of difficult questions. There are more scenes like this where they delve deep and explain why they do what they do for certain actions throughout the anime. And sometimes the answer you get is not always pretty, but it's a necessary one. Ooh! I never thought this goofy looking anime with this cover would ever be this engaging. And fortunately, this anime does comedy really good as well. I didn't expect that. The beautiful change in colors. Every time they enter a new location gives life to the place as though the animators had LSD when animating the anime, with how wild and vibrant the colors feel. And the characters are actually really interesting. The main character is supposed to be this guy. You see him being in the middle of anime covers, posters. Is the first one to be introduced amongst the trio, has the attitude of a typical shonen anime main character, but isn't given as much screen time as much as our goats of GOAT. Easily, he feels like the main character of the show. When he isn't there, the story feels like it has higher stakes because he is the one progressing the story. He is the one calculating every move of the demon and the humans. Although he isn't the strongest, he more than makes up for it with his knowledge and experience. And when it comes to the villains, the demons are actually so underpowered, you kinda little bit, just teeny tiny bit root for them sometimes. Because every time they go against the deities, they always have to be creative in their approach, kinda like how the disaster curses fought Gojo in the Shibuya incident. It makes for a very interesting fights and interactions. She's my favorite one. She's probably the most interesting demon because when it comes to intelligence, she is at least on par with Yeasley's, or maybe even higher. The best part about this anime is how it's so easy to binge. Maybe it's just me, other than the fact that it was only 11 episodes and the story still isn't completed yet. The lighthearted approach to the story and then being blasted with serious war crimes and a lot of gore and really engaging and funny dialogues makes this anime arguably one of my best experiences with anime in recent memories. As I completed this anime, I stared at my screen, dick in hand, realizing what a damn good show this was. I slowly put my pants up, closed my zip, stood up from my chair as I took a deep breath and realized, man, I really need a job. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. I personally don't think this is gonna be someone's favorite anime of all time, but if it is, good for you. But I can see this being in a lot of people's top 10 or at least top 20. Subscribe! I like talking about anime, and comment on what you want me to talk about next. Until then, see ya! What? Oh my god, what the fuck?